Hello and welcome to the first lecture of this course. This course is specifically designed for students of classes 8, 9 and 10 ICC board. And also, if anyone wants to learn Java programming from scratch, they can follow this course. It will be of great help to them. So let's start today's class. We will begin with what is Java. Java is a high level programming language. What is high level programming language? High level means something which is very close to the English language, what we use in our day to day life. So, Java is a high level programming language that is used for developing applications or apps. What kind of apps? It may be a website, web app, desktop app. So, maybe the games you are playing or the apps you are using in your mobile phone or in your desktop, those are developed in Java. So, Java is a high level programming language that is used for developing applications. There are also other programming languages, maybe you have heard about them: Python, C, Java, HTML, CSS. Each and every one of them have their own characteristics and features. However, Java is known for its simplicity, scalability, and robustness. Now, what does these terms mean? Simplicity means Java is a simple language. It is easy for beginners to understand. However, if we go down to developing applications, maybe it's sometimes it gets difficult. But for beginners, I would say it's an easy language along with Python. Scalability, what the scalability means: when Java was first designed, or when Java programming language was first created, maybe it was created for only 5 to 10 users, but now millions and millions of users are using Java. So was it developed for only 5 to 10 people? No, it is being used by millions of people, and maybe the number of users using Java will increase with the increasing population. So Java is also scalable. And what do you mean by robustness? We will come to that point later in this slide. Here it is mentioned what is robustness. Then it will be clear to you. So I will discuss it later. So for beginners and developers, Java is a ideal language. In this article, we will provide a comprehensive introduction to the Java programming language and its key features. But before going to the key features of Java, let us know about the history of Java. So Java was developed in 1990, mid 1990, by James Gosling and his team at Sun Microsystems. So where it is developed, it was developed by James Gosling at Sun Microsystems. And in 2009, Sun Microsystem was acquired by Oracle. So Oracle took over Sun Microsystems. Now let's come to the key features of Java. First, we need to remember that Java is an object-oriented programming language. What is object-oriented programming language? Maybe you have heard about this term OOPS. What is this OOPS? OOPS is the short form for object-oriented programming language. Means in Java the programs can be classified into classes and objects like real life entities. So what are classes? Classes are logical entities, and what are objects? Objects are physical entities. When we will discuss about object oriented programming, then we will understand all of those: what is polymorphism, what is abstraction, what is encapsulation. But just for now, remember Java is an object oriented programming languages. And you can also go through this programming model involves a natural and intuitive way to structure and manipulate data, making it easy to build complex applications. Just go through it. The main part starts over here. What are the key features of Java? So first and foremost, object oriented programming, which I have already mentioned. Java has several object oriented programming features: abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism. Next comes platform independence. What does this mean? Suppose you have written a Java code with the extension .java, and then you have sent this Java file to another user, maybe who is using Linux operating system, or maybe who is using some else operating system, some different operating system. So what will happen? Will Java run on that device or not? Yes, Java will run on that device because Java is platform independent. Java is platform independent. Next comes security. What does security means? Java provides several features with the help of which we can make our code secure. If we do not want to grant access permissions of our code, then we can make our code private. Means other users cannot access our code without our permission. So Java is secured. Next comes memory management. What does memory management means? Suppose if you have declared 100 variables, what are variables? We will come to know about it later. Suppose you have allocated a when you have written a program, a particular memory gets allocated in the operating system. But maybe during the execution of the program, means when the program is running in the system, that whole memory is not being utilized. Some part of the memory is sitting idle or not being utilized properly. So what will happen? Why will the system not use that memory? So Java has a feature known as garbage collector, which efficiently collects the unused variables and freeze down the memory, which helps in the efficient running of the operating system. Robustness is the second last point, and dynamic and extensible is the last point. What is robustness and what is dynamic and extensible? We will come on to this slide. I've already told robustness, I will discuss it over here. So again, I will go through the features. Platform independence. So Java is platform independent, means whichever device have a Java virtual machine installed into it, they can run Java programs. They can easily interpret and compile and run Java programs. So any system, Windows, be it Mac or be it Linux, Java programs can be executed. But make sure Java Virtual Machine JVM is installed in that device. So Java is platform independent. That is the first key feature of Java. Next comes security. I've already told that there are many security features in Java. Java application runs in a secure environment called the JVM, Java Virtual Machine, which we have just studied. So it protects the code, or it protects our system against viruses and other malicious software. It cannot happen that other softwares which are installed in the computer, or any when you are scrolling a web page, some viruses can enter into the system and can attack onto the Java software. No, it won't happen. Also, Java has strict access controls that limit the actions that applications can perform on the user's device. So Java does not give control to access to have access over the user's device. Make sure that Java is a secured language. Next comes memory management. Java has automatic memory management, which I have already told, which means that Java runtime system automatically manages the memory used by Java applications. So whenever Java applications are running on your system, the memory management feature present over there will make sure that your operating system does not get hanged or does not uses up too much of space, so that it is getting slow. It may happen that your system runs slow or your system gets hanged. Why does that happen? Because memory is not being utilized or managed efficiently. But Java has that feature with the help of which the memory is automatically managed. Also, it reduces the risk of memory related errors, which I have already developed, which I have already told, improving the performance of Java applications. So Java applications performance, what does this mean? This means that Java applications will not hang easily or will not become slow during its execution. All right. So next slide is robustness. Java is a robust language. So I told that I will discuss about it. Java is a robust language, which means that it is designed to be reliable and free from errors. Now, what does this mean? Designed to be reliable and free from errors. Suppose when you have written a code, it is a 100-line code, and in the 53rd line there is an error. It may happen that due to that error, the whole program got deleted or the whole program got erased. Will you again write the whole 100 lines of code? No. But if that would have happened, the whole 100 lines got deleted, then you won't feel good. So if it is not reliable enough, if there are errors and the errors cannot be corrected, then Java would not become reliable. Java would not be preferred by the users. So Java is a robust language. That means it is reliable and free from errors. Java has type system, typecasting, which we will learn later. It has also has exception handling. What is exception handling? Whenever Java program runs into an error, there are exceptions so that the Java program does not get terminated abruptly. It will not get terminated abruptly. It will continue its execution, and it will provide the output except the part which was erroneous, or except the part which was containing the error. Other than that, the whole program will get executed. And also memory management features. Memory management features I have already discussed, that Java has a garbage collector. What happens if you are, suppose you have declared 100 variables and you are using only two of them, and the 98 other variables are not being utilized by your program. So what happened? Will the memory space get occupied by all of those? No, the garbage collector will free the memory space and help some other process occupy the memory, so that your program does not get slow, or your system does not get slow. So additionally, Java's platform independence means that applications written in Java are less likely to be affected by platform-specific issues. Suppose if you have developed an application which is running well in your Android phone, and one of your friend has Apple phone, so if he is downloading the same application, will it run slow? No, it must not happen like that. It must be compatible, and it must run with the same speed and same efficiency in all the systems. So Java helps in developing such applications. Next comes dynamic and extensible. What is dynamic and extensible? Dynamic language, Java is a dynamic language, which means that it can be extended and modified at runtime. This is very important. During runtime, the Java program can be extended and modified. Means there can be changes. There are scope of making changes to the Java program during the runtime. So you will come to know about this later. There are many errors. There are many compilation errors, and there are many runtime errors. Compilation errors happens before when you compile the Java program, and there are certain errors which happens during the runtime. So those errors, those runtime errors, are also resolved during the running time of the program. So that error management, the exception handling, which I have already mentioned earlier here, exception handling, those are all taken care by the Java system during runtime. So Java is also known as dynamic. Dynamic and extensible. Java is a dynamic language. Rest you can go through the points. These are the key features of Java. You can remember any 4 to 5 of them. It will be easy for you to write. If any 4 to 5 marks question comes in your exam, you can write any 4 or 5 of them. So the easy points are object oriented programming, platform independence, security, memory management. All of those are the key features of Java. So here is a quiz time. I would prefer that without going to the next part of the video, try to answer those. If you cannot, then pause the video, try to answer. If you cannot, then resume the video again. All right. So what characteristics does Java process? Java is a high level programming language. Yes or no? Yes, Java is of course a high level programming language. That was the first point of the video. Next, Java is an interpreted language. During explaining, I have mentioned once that Java can be interpreted and compiled. Yes, Java code can both be interpreted and compiled. What is the difference between interpretation and compilation? I will come on to it later. But make sure that you know Java is an interpreted language. Java is an interpreted language. Next, Java is an object-oriented programming language. This is of course yes, Java is an object-oriented programming language. It has certain features of OOPs such as classes, objects, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. Many things are there. We will come slowly onto that. Java only works on Windows platforms. Is it true? Yes or no? No, this is false. Java only works on Windows platforms. No, Java can run on Linux, Java can run on Macs, on any operating system, right? Next, Java does not support multi-threading. Now, this is threading is a concept which is not there in class 10 syllabus, so I would not go into it. But make sure that you know Java does not support threading or multi-threading. Threads are supported by C. C is a programming language which supports threads, the concept of threading. So multi-threading is supported by C, but Java does not support multi-threading. And sorry, it will be a cross. Java does not support multi-threading. And what is the last point? Java is platform independent. Platform independent, yes, I already told Java is platform independent. So these are the answers. Which of them are correct? One is correct, two is correct, three is correct, four is correct, five and six are not correct, and again seven is correct. So these are the answers, and five and six are wrong. Sorry, I made a mistake while calculating. Just a minute. One is correct, two is correct, three is correct, four and five are wrong, and six is also correct. So one, two, three is correct, four and five are wrong, six is again correct. Okay, all right. So next, we need to download BlueJ, because before we move on to coding or before we start programming, we need to have a software in our system. So I would say those of you who have access to a laptop or desktop, they can download BlueJ. It's very beginner friendly, and for class 10 examinations, BlueJ is enough. However, if someone is preparing for interviews or if someone is preparing for college level examinations, then they can download VS Code, Visual Studio Code, which can support other than which can support all the programming languages actually, not only Java, but BlueJ supports only Java. Okay, so those who are preparing for class 10, download BlueJ. So how to download BlueJ? I will show that. And also those who don't have an access to laptop or desktop, I will show a solution for them also. Okay, so let's download BlueJ. Go to your browser or Chrome or any other browser, search BlueJ. So here is the website. Download and install. See here it is showing Windows, and for 64-bit Windows 7 or later. Those who have a 64-bit operating system and Windows 7 or later can download this. However, those who have 32-bit operating system, which are the previous versions, so they can download this one. Okay, for 32-bit operating systems. But mine is a 64-bit operating system, so I will be downloading this. It has already started downloading. So while it is downloading, let me tell you what will they do. Those who don't have access to laptop or desktop, for them you can practice coding and programming in online Java compilers. What are those online Java compilers? Let's write it: online Java compiler. Move on to the first link. There are many online Java compilers. You can code on any of them, but I would personally prefer Programmers. It is very simple and easy and user friendly. It has a user friendly interface. All right. So here is already a default code. You can try and run it. But what is written over here? What all of them mean? None of them you can understand at first. I will slowly come on to those. So let's wait for the installation. Okay, while it's getting installed, let me begin with uh, explaining how a Java program looks like. So at first, you need to write public, public class and a class name. It can be anything, but make sure it starts with a capital letter. Suppose I'm writing first program, then make sure you put a curly brace. All right. Here it is an opening brace and here it is a closing brace. Always remember that after the first line of the Java program, that is public class and the class name. This is the class name. There will be a opening and closing brace, and the rest of the code will be between those two braces. The rest of the code will be between those two braces. Next, what I will write? I will write public static void main. What are those things? We won't understand any of them now, and you don't need to understand. We will slowly cover all of them. Public static void main string args. Alright, again a curly brace, opening and closing brace. So at first we have to write the class keyword and the class name. This is a class keyword. Keyword means which is recognized by Java. This is a class keyword and this is the class name. Here public static void, those are also keywords. You can check those which are keywords are getting highlighted on blue, and the other words are getting highlighted in norm are not getting highlighted. Those are written in black. So main is a name, main is a function name. As I said over here, first program is the class name. Here main is the function name. And string args, string is also a keyword. Args, what are those? We will come into it later. All right. So this will be the structure. Now the rest of the code will be between these two braces. The rest of the code will be between these two braces. Whatever we will write here will get executed. So let's write it: system.out.println. System.out.println. Let me write hello students. Let's run it. All right. Hello students. What does this mean? What is system? What is out? What is println? What is hello student? uh, yeah, download is complete. So just a minute, I will explain all the code over on BlueJ. I have just written it over here while it was getting downloaded. So you have seen this is the structure of the Java program. Now what all of them mean, we will come slowly onto it. So system.out.println is printing hello students. Here is the output. So those who don't have access to laptop or desktop, they can code on this online Java compiler. And those who have access to laptop or desktop, let's download BlueJ for them. Accept all of them. Go next, 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 and start installing. Click yes. It will take some time depending upon the network speed. Okay, let me know if there is any problem in the comment section. If you are facing any problem or any doubt, you can write in the comment section. I will be replying to each and every one of you. And also join the WhatsApp community. There you can text me personally if you are facing doubt in anything specifically. All right. So the download is complete. Let's dive into the code now. Let's search BlueJ. Here it is BlueJ. Just a minute. Yeah. So you can create a new project. Suppose you want to practice for your ICC examinations. So create a project ICSC named ICSC. All right. So a new project will be created. Here is the new project. And first program you are creating. You are creating the first program. So new class. And as I have already shown, right? First program. That will be the class name. First program. That will be the class name. All right. First program is the class name. First prog. Now when you will open this, there will be a lot of code written onto it. You can erase all of them. You can erase all of them. So we will start with the first line. What is the first line? I have already shown it to you on the Java compiler window. Public class, and then what will be the name of the class name? First program. Make sure whatever name you have given over here, that name must be same with the class name you are providing on the actual code. So these two names will be same, and Java is case sensitive. If the first letter is capital, here also the first letter must be a capital letter. Make sure that, all right, otherwise there will be errors. So as I said, the after class is written, after class and class name is written, there will be a curly braces. Now what is this public? Public means it can be visible or it can be accessible by all other programs within this project, or you can say that all the functions or all the other classes can access the variables or the functions which are present inside the class. Now you don't know what are functions, you don't know what are variables, so I'm not diving deep into it, but just remember the structure as of now. All right, public class first program. Now what will be the next line? Public static void main. Again, public static void, these keywords are not known to you as of now. No need to understand now, just understand the syntax of the program. Okay. So public static void main string args. Now what we will do? We will print system dot out dot println. Let's write our first program, our first Java program. So we have written our first Java program. Okay, let me show you one thing. Every statement must end with a semicolon. All right, every statement must end with a semicolon. Now you may question that I have not put a semicolon over here. I have not put a semicolon over here. So why I am putting it over here? Because class functions, this kind of statements already have curly braces. So there after the function name and the function statement is written, there is a opening and closing curly brace. So we don't put semicolons on such statements, but the rest of the statements we need to put a semicolon. So system.out.println, our first Java program, there must be a semicolon at the end. What will happen if I don't put a semicolon? Let's try it. Let's try to compile it. See, errors found in class. So it is showing that there is an error over here. Now will the error get resolved if I put a semicolon? Let's try it. Yeah, class compiled, no syntax errors. So always make sure to put a semicolon. Okay, now let's compile it. Oh, I have already compiled. Try to run it. See, here is the output, our first Java program. Cool, right? Let's try something else. Okay, now let's write another statement. System dot out dot println 5 plus 2 is 5 plus 2. Now, what will be the output? What will be the output of this? Any guess? Any guess? Let's compile it and check. Compile it and run it and then check what will be the output. Compile it and run it. Our first Java program and the output is 5 plus 2 is 52. Now what does this mean? 5 plus 2 is 52. What is happening? Okay, so let me explain. And one thing, why our first Java program is coming up in again, because I have not deleted this statement. All right. So this is the output of the first time I have executed the Java program. This is the output of the second execution. So first Java program is getting printed again, and the next statement which is printing is 5 plus 2 is 5 plus 2. Here it is getting 52. Why not 5 plus 2 is getting printed as it is printed over here 5 plus 2? What is the difference? We will understand it with the help of strings. So what is present between the two quotes? This is known as a string. What is a string? String is always written inside two quotes, opening and closing double quotes. This is the opening double quote and this is the closing double quote. So 5 plus 2 is, this is a string, and this plus operator works as a concatenation operator. So whatever is written in this string, along with that 5 plus 2 is also getting concatenated. This two behaves as a string. Now what will happen if I just print this one, 5 plus 2? And let me comment it out. What is the comment? I will also explain that. What if I just want to execute this part, system.println 5 plus 2? What will happen? Let's check what will happen. All right, there will be something different this time. Let's check the output. See, only 7 is getting printed. Only 7 is getting printed. Now, what's the issue? First time it was printing 5 plus 2 is 52. Now it is printing only 7. Though both of the times it was 5 plus 2. What is the difference in those two statements? The first statement was, let me write it again. The first statement was system dot out dot println 5 plus 2 is plus 5 plus 2. Yeah. So in the first time, as I have already told, this was a string. Within double quotes, opening and closing double quotes, whatever is written, that means it is a string. And when we use the plus operator or the plus sign with a string, then the rest of the code, rest of the thing written in the print statement also behaves as a string. So 5 and 2 is behaving as a string and getting concatenated. So it is printing 5 plus 2 is 52. But in this print statement, only 5 plus 2 is written in the within the println brackets. So 5 plus 2 is behaving as integers. So the numerical value of 5 and numerical value of 2, those two are getting added up and printing 7. Now this last 5 minutes may be difficult for you to understand, because what are those strings, what are those integers? uh, you're not getting it, right? Don't worry, at the end of the session we will understand clearly what are strings and what are integers. Okay, so let's get back to our slides. We have already downloaded BlueJ. We have already written our first Java program, right? Now what we will do, we will decode the code. What is that? What do you mean by decoding the code? Means we will understand what we have written. We will understand what we have written. Now, what is written over here? The every line of code that runs in Java must be inside a class. I've already shown to you that after the class name there is an opening brace and there is a closing brace. Before between the opening and closing brace, all the statements will be written. So that means that each and every line of the code is present inside the Java class, and the class name must begin with an uppercase first letter. The first letter must be in uppercase, capital letter. Java is case sensitive. Case sensitive means it can distinguish between lowercase and uppercase. So my class M is capital over here and C is capital over here is different from my class M is small and C is small. Those two are different from each other. All right. And whenever we will form a Java file, whenever we will write some code onto a Java file, we need to save it, right? So we must save that with the help of a .java extension. Now we haven't done it over here. Why we haven't done it over here? Because I already told you that BlueJ supports only Java. So whenever we are writing first program, it is already saving the file with the .java extension. However, if you use any other IDE such as Visual Studio Code or anything else, there other programming languages maybe it may support other programming languages such as Python, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, whatever. So there you need to specify that suppose your class name is solution.java. If you write solution.py, then it would mean it is a Python file. But when you are writing .java, it means that it is a Java file. All right. Okay. So let's move to the next slide. The main method. The main method I have already written that public static void main string args. But what are those? You don't know about that? Yes, we don't need to understand that as of now. Just remember that any code inside the main method will be executed. Any code inside the main method will always be executed rather. So uh, we must also remember that Java program has a class name which must match the file name, and that every program must contain the main method. We must remember those two things. I've already told you that past program, whatever you have written over here, whatever the name you have given to the file over here, and the code you are writing over here, the class name you are providing over here, these two must match, and each and every Java program must contain a main method or main function. So these are the key things you need to remember as of now. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Now the statement system.out.println. You have written system.out.println over here, and you can see that it is printing some statements. It is printing something onto the screen. But what does this mean? What does system? What does out? What does println mean? System. Now, what is system? Let's check. Inside the main method, we can use the println method to print a line of text to the screen. But what are those? Let's understand. System. System is a built-in Java class. Now, what do you mean by built-in Java class? What is a Java class, first of all? What is a Java class? You have already what is a Java class? This is a Java class. But what is a this you are creating? You are creating it externally, or a user is creating it. But what is a built-in Java class? Built-in Java class means which already exist within Java. Means which are already provided in the Java library. What is Java library? There are different packages, there are different classes which are provided inside Java so that coding becomes easy. So that you can use default functions. What are default functions? Suppose you need to understand, or you need to calculate what is the minimum between two numbers. What is the minimum between, suppose let me write it over here. Suppose what is the minimum between 5 and -2? What is the minimum between them? Of course -2. So this is a small number, you can calculate it easily. But suppose there were 50 numbers or there were 1000 numbers. Will it be easy for you? No. So there is a class known as math class which contains some functions known as math.mean. What does math.mean do? Math.mean finds the of minimum between the two numbers. So there are other functions also, factorial functions, absolute functions, power root functions, square root function. Suppose you want to calculate 2 to the power 100. Will you calculate 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 100 times? No. You can use math.pow. What is power? Power calculates the power, means base and power system. 2 is the base and 100 is the power. So you can use math.power to calculate the value of 2 to the power 100. So math is a default Java class, built in Java class, and there are certain functions onto it. Similarly, system is a built in Java class that contains useful members, and one of them is out. So out is a member of system class. What does out mean? Out stands for output. See, the when you have written system.out.println, it is providing an output. It is displaying something on the screen. It is giving us a output. So system.out means it is used for giving us a output, or which gives us a output. And at last, what is println? Println. Now there it can be broken down into two parts: print, and next part is the ln. Now, what does print mean? Print means printing something to the screen. That is easy. But what do ln means? Ln means line next. I think if I code it and show it to you, it will be easier for you. Just a minute. Yeah. Here I have used println. Here also I have used println. Now, if I make it print, and if I do this, what will be the change? Let's check what will be the change in the output. All right. So let's compile it and run it. Here is the output, and here is the code. So this is the output. 5 plus 2 is 7. What happened? What happened? Why this is the output now? So 5 plus 2 is, as I already mentioned, 5 plus 2 is the string. So that whole thing is getting printed. 5 plus 2 is, the whole thing is getting printed. And here 5 plus 2, 5 and 2 are the numerical values. And here plus operator means addition operator. So 5 plus 2, what happens? 5 plus 2 becomes 7, and after the string 7 is printed. But why 7 is not getting printed on a new line? Previously it was getting onto the new line because I have used only print over here. I have only used print over here. Now, what is the difference between print and println? Println means line next. Means after printing the statement, or after printing what is present over here, it will move to the next line. The cursor will move to the next line and then wait for the next print statement to get executed. But print means it will print what is present over here and it will wait on the same line. It is waiting on the same line, and then again this statement is getting executed and 7 is getting printed over here. If I make a subtle change to the code, what will happen? If I put a println over here, if I put a println over here and compile it and run it again, what will happen? 5 plus 2 is will get printed over here and 7 will be getting printed on the next line. Let's try it. Let's try it. Check. 5 plus 2 is getting printed over here and 7 is getting printed on the next line. So I hope it's clear now what is the difference between print and println. Print means the code will get executed and then the cursor will wait on the same line. And again, when a print statement is executed, the value will be present on the previous line only. But println means after printing the value, it will move to the next line. And when it will execute, and when it will encounter a different print statement, the value will be printed onto the next line. All right. So this is the difference between print and println. Let me show you another example if it's not clear. Suppose system dot out dot print stay on same line. System dot out dot print ln still on same line. Now the last statement, system dot out dot print ln. Now on to next line. Okay. So let me comment it out. Now if I compile it and run it, what will happen? System.out.print. So what it will do, it will print stay on the same line, and after printing this, it will wait on the same line. So next it will get this print statement, but it will print still on same line. Means the still on same line will be printed on the same line where stay on same line was printed. Because after the print statement, it is not moving to the next line. Now after printing still on same line, before that there is a ln, means line next. After printing this, then the cursor will move to the next line, and on the next line, now on to next line, this statement will get printed. All right, so let's run it and check. Here it is. As I already told, system.out.print stay on same line. It is staying on same line because only print is written. And after that, it is again finding this statement. This still on same line. This statement is getting printed, and it is also getting ln, means line next. Line next. After printing this statement, it is moving to the next line. It is coming over here, and then it is printing now on to next line. I hope it is clear now. All right. So let's move to the slide. Okay, syntax for printing string I have already shown. There must be double quotes, starting and opening quotes. There is also print statement. I have also already mentioned what is the difference between print and println. You can go through the slide. Now, next syntax for printing numbers. I have already shown one of them, how to print numbers. Here it is. If I write system.out.print, if I write system.out.print 5, what it will do? It will only print 5. Next, if I write system.out.print 5 asterisk 10, what does this asterisk sign mean? This asterisk sign means multiplication. This asterisk sign means multiplication. What it will print? This 5 will print only the value, the integer value of 5, and this 5 into 10 will print what? 50. So this is how numbers are printed with the help of the print statement. For so long we were printing strings. Now we are printing numbers or integers. What are strings and integers? We will come on to it slowly. All right. So compile it and run it. Let's check it. Yeah, 5 and 50. So here this statement is printing 5 and this statement is printing 50. So asterisk sign means multiplication operator. Remember, plus minus is same. Asterisk means multiplication, and division is written by this symbol, this one. We will uh, do all those things later. Now we can also perform addition, multiplication. Let's go through them. We can print any numbers, even we can print negative numbers too. We'll show that. Now comments. So you have already seen that I am using comment over here. I've already used single line and multi-line comment. What are those? Those are single line comments. Those are single line comments. Single line comments are given by two slashes. Two slashes. So here it is already written. Single line comments are used. Single line comments are starting with two forward slashes. So how are single line comments written? Single line comments are written using two forward slashes. And our multi-line comments written, multi-line comments are written using slash star, and it also ends with star slash. Now what is the purpose of those single line comments, multi-line comments? Why are those written? What is the purpose, and why are not they getting printed? Why those things are not getting printed? Comments are written only for better readability of the code. Only for better readability of the code. Suppose you want to print a triangle on the screen. So how you are doing that thing? You are writing that logic. You are writing that logic within the code, so that if anyone checks your copy of, or if any friend of yours wants to try your code, they can understand by reading the comments what have you done. But those statements are never executed by the Java system. All right, they will not get executed by the Java system. So even if you mess a semicolon over there, it won't do any harm to your code, because those statements will not get executed. Those three statements will not get executed only. So whether they are a semicolon, whether you have written in English, Hindi, Bengali, it doesn't matter. So single line comments are written like this, and multi-line comments are written like this. There may not be any direct question on ICC exam, but sometimes it's given how are multi-line comments possible in Java. If yes, what is the syntax of multi-line comments? Just make sure that multi-line comments start with a slash star and ends with a star slash. All right. So let's move on to the next slide. Variables. Now this part is very interesting. What are variables? Suppose this is a Java program. Let me change it. Suppose this is a Java program. Java program has occupied some memory. Okay. Java program has occupied some memory. Within the Java program, there are classes, there are objects, many things are there. You don't know them as of now. So suppose this is a class, the opening and closing brace of the class which I have shown. Inside that there is a main method, opening and closing brace of the main method. Inside those there may be some variables which are getting printed, which are being used within the program. Now what are those variables? What do they do? Suppose you are writing a statement. I think you have seen this int a equal to 5. What will this mean? Here a is a variable, int is a data type, and 5 is the value. So variable is a location, is a memory within the system where values are stored. Where values are stored. It is a location or it is a container where values are stored. And along with the variable, there is a data type associated with it. It may be an int integer, or it may be a double, it may be a float, it may be a string, boolean, char, byte, many things are there. We will come on to it slowly, but just learn that variables are containers or memory locations where values are stored. So here it is written variables are containers for storing values. In Java, there are different types of variables. What are the data types? What are the data types? String data type. String, we have already shown you. Hello, it is written within two what double quotes. It is written between a opening double quote and an ending double quote, so it is surrounded by double quotes. Next come integers. Make sure that you understand what the difference between integer and other things, double, float, what are the difference between them. Integer is used to store whole numbers. Integer is used to store whole numbers such as plus 123 or minus 123, or suppose 46, or suppose 10, or suppose minus 1000. Those things are integers. But if you write 45.2, that will come under float. Means decimal numbers are stored within float data type, but whole numbers are stored in integer. So integer won't contain any decimals. Make sure that you remember it. This is very important. It may be a positive integer or a negative integer, that doesn't matter. Integers will not contain decimals. Integer will not contain decimal points. Decimal points are supported by floating point numbers. Alright, next comes character. Now string and character, you may confuse between both of them, between those two. But what is the difference? Character can only store a single letter. Suppose A, or capital B, or capital C. This is a character. Alright, this is a character. So characters are written on single quotes and they can only store a single what? Single letter. But string are always written in double quotes and they can contain words, sentences, or a single letter also. Alright, so string can be written like this. String can be written like this. This is a string. Why? Because double quotes are there. You must not think that this is a character because only single letter is there. No, this is a string because double letter is there. But the reverse is not possible. Suppose this cannot be a character. This cannot be a character. You may think that why only single quotes is present. Why cannot be this a character? No, because character can support only a single letter. Alright, and last comes boolean. What is boolean? Boolean can store only two values, true or false. Boolean can store only two values, true or false. What is the use of it? What is the purpose of it? Where do we use it? We'll slowly understand that, but we don't need that as of now. As of now, we must focus on int, string, float, all those. So let's move to the next slide. Syntax. How do we write? I've already shown one statement. Int, suppose uh, int principal. I think you have gone through simple interest. There is principal, rate, amount. So int principal equal to 500. This is the correct syntax for writing. What? For writing a Java statement where integer is the data type, principal is the variable name, and 500 is the value. Now instead of 500, if you have written 500.0, this is wrong because int cannot store 500.0. Int can only store whole numbers. All right. So this is the correct syntax. Type variable name equal to value. Now let me show you how to create string variables and how to create int variables. Let's go to the screen. Okay, so let's comment it out. Let me write int a equal to 5, and let me write int b equal to 6. I have already shown this int a equal to 5, int b equal to 6. This int is the data type, this a is the variable name, and this 5 is the value. Now, what can be a variable name? Why do we need to we can only put A, B, C like those? We can only put X, Y, Z like those? No. You can write name, you can write name 2, you can like name 3, you can put your own name also. But make sure there are certain rules which you follow. What are the rules? I will come after one or two slide maybe. But always try to put a meaningful name over here. The variable name must be meaningful. Alright. So what we will do? We will do the sum of those two variables. Int sum. Int sum a plus b. If I calculate the difference between two, int difference equal to b minus a. You could have also done a minus b, then you would have printed 5 minus 6, that is a minus 1. But 6 minus 5 plus 1. I have shown that you can also do a minus b. Int multiplication. I'm writing mul a asterisk b. And last line int division, div equal to b by a. And let's now print all of them. System dot out dot println. At first print a, copy it. Okay, so let's print, sorry, I have written a sum, then print difference, then print multiplication, and then print division. Let's compile it and check if there are any errors. No, there are no syntax errors. Always make sure that you compile it first, otherwise you may run into an error. All right, so let's execute it. So here is the output: 11, 1, 30, and 1. Let's find out, is it correct or not. A plus b, 5 plus 6 is 11. Yeah, 11. Next, b minus a, 6 minus 5 is 1. Yeah, 1. Next, a into b, 5 into 6 is 30. Yeah, it is printing 30. And last, b by a, 6 by 5 is 1. Is that correct? 6 by 5 is 1? Yes, of course. What happens when you divide 6 by 5? What happens? You are dividing 6 by 5. I don't think I need to write that. 5 ones are 5. So remainder is 1. So what does it print? It prints the quotient. Whenever you use divide sign, it prints the quotient and the remainder is ignored. Make sure that you understand the remainder is ignored and it only prints the quotient. If it was something like 5 and 60, it would have printed 12. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm making A60. Sorry, I'm making B60 and A5. Let's check what happens. I've made A60 and B5. Now compile it and run it. What will be the output of difference? It will be 12. Let's check. Yeah, here it is 12. Let's check it again with all of them. 60 plus 5, 65. 60 minus 5, 55. 60 into 5, 300. And 60 divided by 5 is 12. Understood now? Okay. So I have shown how to create integer variables, how to print them. There is also a method, and let me go into string also. There is also a method. Suppose you have written int a equal to 5. You could have also done int a and then you could have written a equal to 5. It would not make any difference. You could have done both of them. This is also a valid way of declaring and initializing variables. This is also a valid way. However, this statement means what? This statement means Declaration means a variable is being declared. This is a variable name, means a memory is getting allocated for this particular variable, and a data type is getting associated with it. What is the data type? Int data type. And then this statement a equal to 5 means initialization, means the memory which was associated with a particular data type, that memory is getting a value. That memory is getting a value. So this is declaration and this is initialization. And here both of the things, initialization and declaration, is happening at the same time or simultaneously. So those are what? Those are int declarations and int variables. Now let's understand string ones. So I have already shown you how to print string statements directly onto the system.out.println. Now let's create a string variable, string name one. Suppose string first name, I'm writing f name. Suppose someone's name is Pritam. So let's write Pritam. Alright. And let's write string last name. String last name equal to, suppose his title is they. If I write system dot out dot print ln, what I will write? First name plus last name. What will happen? What does this plus do? This plus will calculate 5 plus 2 7? No. I've already mentioned, when a plus sign is written between two strings, whenever a string is encountered within the print statement, after that whenever a plus sign is there, it means it would get concatenated. Means two strings will be printed one by one. So let's check the output. Pritam, they will be printed. Let's check it. Here is the output. Pritam, they. Now, if we want to put a space in between those, what we will do? What we will do? We will put a white space and again put a plus. Let's check. Pritam, they. Now, the same output will be there, but a space will be in between those two words. Pritam and they. Here it is. Pritam and they. The same output, but with a space or blank space. And another thing I want to show you, instead of doing this, we could have created another variable, string variable. How? String total name, t name. I'm writing t name. All right. String t name. I'm writing f name plus the space plus l name. Hence first name and last name. And then I'm printing system dot out dot println t name. T name stands for total name. So if I compile it and run it, let's check what happens. Some output. Yes or no? Same output will be there. Let's check it. Pritam, the same output. What's happening? I'm just putting this whole thing, instead of directly printing it, I'm putting it inside another memory variable. Another variable which is associated with string data type, means I'm putting it into a memory variable. I'm putting this value Pritam there inside another variable and then printing it. Alright. Okay. So let's move on to the next slide. I've already shown how to, okay, I have not shown change the values. Okay, let's do it. And there is also final variables. I will discuss both of them. Okay, let's try something else now. Let's write int a equal to 5 and print it. System dot out dot println. I am printing a. Alright, so what will happen? A5 will get printed. Now I am doing a equal to suppose 70. Now, if I again use this statement system dot println a, what will happen? 70 will get printed. What will happen? 70 will get printed. Let's check. Check. At first, 5 is getting printed here. Because I'm initializing and declaring the variable a with 5, value 5, I'm printing it. Then I'm changing the value of a to 70, and then I am again printing it. Make sure we can change the values of the variable. But if you would have tried to again write int a equal to 70, can you guess what will happen? What will happen? We will run into an error. Let's check what kind of error. Let's try to compile it. Here, errors found in class. Why? What's error is showing? Variable a is already defined in method main. Why? Because I have already declared int a equal to 5, means there is already a memory allocated for a variable named a. I cannot again allocate a memory with the same variable name. I could have done int a. I could have just changed the name, and now if I compile it, there will be no problem. But I cannot write int a equal to 5, and then again I cannot write int a equal to 70. All right. I can make this change. I can make a equal to 70. Means I am not redeclaring it again. I am not declaring it again. I am only changing the value of it. There won't be any problem. All right. Also another thing, if I put the keyword final, and then if I try to compile it, again it's showing an errors found in class. Why? Just now I have told that if I put int a equal to 70 over here, then it will run into an error. But why it's showing again a equal to 70? Then is it wrong that once I have declared something and once I've put a value onto it, I cannot change the value of the variable? Yes, you cannot change the value of the variable only if you have used the final keyword. What this final means? Final means once the value of the variable is given, the value of the variable will not change throughout the program. Once it is written, it will stay the same throughout the program. But if you would not have written this final keyword, then you could have changed the value of the variable a to 70. There won't be any error, which we have already done previously. But since you are putting final int equal to 5, you cannot change the value to 70. You can write int b equal to 70. There won't be any error. You could have write int a equal to 70, but you cannot change the value of this variable a again because you have used the final keyword. All right. So this is a very, very important concept, final keyword. This is very important. Go through this. All right. Let's move on to the next slide. What are the other variable? I'm declaring one by one and showing it to you. We have already covered int and string. Now let's declare the other three variables. These three. Let's try it. Let's comment it out again. So here you can understand that comment is of great use sometimes. Suppose you have written 1,000 lines of code and then you have found out that oh, I have made a mistake from line 200 to 300. What you will do? You will go on deleting. You will go on pressing backspace. No, just put a comment, multi-line comment. Okay, so we have done with int and string variables. Let's declare float. So I've already told you float contains decimal values. So what will be the syntax? Float. Suppose I'm writing deci for decimal equal to 5 point suppose 78. Is that enough? No. Here we have to put if with it. Here we have to put if. That is the syntax for declaring and initializing float values, float variables. So 5.78 if. Now if I print, just let me copy it. If I print deci, we will check what will be the output. All right. We will check at the end with the rest of them. Suppose now I'm declaring character. I've already showed character. Suppose I'm writing a letter. A letter. Just I'm writing letter. Character letter equal to A. So what it will print? It will print just a single A. Now I'm writing character letter 2. Letter 2 equal to suppose I'm writing capital B. Now let me print those two. Let me print those two. Letter and letter 2. Letter and letter 2. And let me declare a boolean variable. Boolean. Boolean, suppose I have already told Boolean can contain only two values, true or false. Suppose I am storing true value. So let me write Boolean t equal to true and let me print it. Boolean t equal to true, system.out.println t. Let's compile it and run it. Let's check the output. Alright. So here is the output. Let's verify it. Float days equal to 5.78f. So it is printing the decimal value. Here it is 5.78. Make sure here it is not getting printed f. So only the decimal part 5.78 is getting printed, but we have to write F because that is the syntax. Now A and B, only a single A and only single B is getting printed. No quotes will be printed. Of course not. Here it was not printing the double quotes, so why it would print over here? And at last boolean t equal to true, so it is printing the keyword true. What is the purpose of boolean? Why do we use it? We will understand it later. Just understand that boolean is a data type which can only contain two values, true and false. So I have shown the next variables, other variables too. I have also shown these things. These two slides are somewhat important. Declaring many variables I have already shown. Go through it. One value to multiple variables. This is a cool thing. You can try it. It would save your time. How? Suppose I am writing int x equal to 70. Then again I am writing int y equal to 70. Then again I am writing int z equal to 70. I will waste so much time. Instead, what you will do? What you will do? Let's declare the variables int x comma y comma z and x comma y comma z equal to 70. Done. It would mean the same int x equal to 70, int y equal to 70. Instead of that, just use this x comma y comma z and x comma y comma z equal to 70. Sorry, x equal to y equal to 7, z equal to 70. Then try and put a print statement, system.println, print x, and again print y or z. Try it. What will happen? Same thing, same output. 70 will get printed two times for x also and for z also. See, both times 70 is getting printed because we are printing x also and z also. So instead of writing int x equal to 70, int y equal to 70, int z equal to 70, you can declare the variable and you can initialize it like this. All right. So let's move on to the next slide. Identifiers. Now, what are identifiers? So all Java variables must be identified with unique names. We have already done this while I was declaring int a equal to 50, and again I was trying to here is the code int a equal to 50 while I was writing int a equal to something, and again I was going to write int a equal to 70. We have seen that it was throwing an error because a was already declared over here. We cannot declare another variable with the same name. So what do you mean? What does it mean? It means that Java identifies the Java variable names must be unique. So these unique names are called identifiers. They can be short names like x and y, or they can be descriptive names like I've already used sum, difference, multiplication, total volume, principal. I've already shown the examples. So you can write anything, but there are certain rules. What are the rules? Go through them. It can contain letters, digits, underscores, dollar signs. You already know about letters, digits. You can write something like that, sum 1. You can also write, suppose, let me use it. You can also write, suppose, principal 2. You can write like those. You can also use underscores. You can also use dollar signs. You can also use dollar signs, or you can also use underscores. But and names must begin with a letter. It must begin with a letter. Name should start with a lowercase letter. You cannot put a capital letter. It must be a small letter, of course, and cannot contain white space. You cannot write some, sorry, just a minute. You cannot write some space difference. This is not a valid variable name. Alright. Names can also begin with dollar. Names can also begin with dollar and underscore also. Names are case sensitive. Case sensitive means, suppose if you write SUM sum and if you write SU capital M, these two are different. These two are different. These two are not the same. SU small m and SU capital M, these two are different because now names are case sensitive. Java is case sensitive. And last, reserve words like int boolean cannot be used. Suppose there is a keyword for or while. Those are keywords in Java. You cannot use them as your identifier. You cannot use suppose print as your identifier, int as your identifier, because those are Java keywords. Next, data types. I have already shown all of them. I don't think I need to show this again. INT stands for integer numbers, whole numbers, float stands for decimals and floating point numbers, character stands for a single character, boolean stands for boolean, true or false, and string for printing words or sentences or whole paragraphs. Now, this is very important. Data types are generally of two types, primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Now, what are primitive data types? Those which you have gone through over here, those are primitive data types. Primitive data types includes byte, short, int, long, float, double. We will come onto it next slide. But non-primitive data types are string, arrays, and classes. You will learn about those things later. Why later? Because you need to go through the basics. You need to go through the primitive data types. You need to understand all of them. Then you can understand arrays. Then you can understand classes. What are classes? Classes are collection of objects. What are arrays? Arrays are collection of different int variables, different string variables. Different. It is a contiguous memory allocation. So those things you need to understand before that you need to be clear about what are data types, what are primitive data types actually, and there are string classes also. So just learn as of now there are two types of data types, primitive data type and non-primitive data type. All right, so here is the chart. This is a VVI slide, very important. You need to learn it wholeheartedly. Why? There are some important points also which I need to explain, so let's make it short. Just a minute, let me adjust the screen. Where is the cursor? Yeah, now let's start. First and foremost, what is the first primitive data? Byte. What is the size of byte? Size of byte is only one byte. Now, what does one byte means? One byte means 8 bits. 8 bits. And what is the range? Range means what kind of numbers it can store, or what is the range of numbers it can store. It can store from minus 128 to 127. But you will just remember it all of a sudden. Why minus 128 to 127? What does this mean? Let's understand what does this mean and how we can remember it. Now, what I have told, one byte means 8 bits, right? One byte means 8 bits. Now, what does those bits mean? Suppose if there was only one bit, if there was only one bit, and you already know in computer system bits are binary digits which can only be 0 or 1. So if I say there is only one bit, what can the different combinations be? It can only be a 0 or it can only be a 1. Is there anything possible if we can only use one bit? No. So if we can use one bit, okay, I will show it later. If I say I can use 2 bits, if I say I can use 2 bits, what are the combinations? I can put 0 and 0, then I can put 0 and 1, then I can put 1 and 0, and then I can put 1 and 1. Is there any other combination? No. What if I say I can put 3 bits? What are the combinations? I can put three zeros, I can put two zeros, one, then 0 1 0, then 0 1 1, 1 0 0, 1 0 1, 1 1 0, and 1 1 1. Is there anything else left? I don't think so. You can try. If anything you can get, you can mention it in the comment section, but you won't get anything else. So how many combinations are over here? Here there are two combinations. Here there are four combinations. Here there are eight combinations. So what does this mean? How you can calculate how many combinations can be there? Here there is only one binary digit or only one place. So 2 to the power 1 equal to 2. Here there are two places, two positions. So 2 to the power 2 equal to 4. Here there are three positions or three places. So 2 to the power 3 equal to 8. So the number of positions we put it in the power of 2. If we put it in the power of 2, we can get the numbers. We can get the number of combinations possible. So what happens over here? There are 8 bits. Means there are 8 positions. So if we calculate 2 to the power 8, if we calculate it 2 to the power 8, let's calculate 256. Try and calculate on your home. It will come 256. So what does this 256 means? It means that there can be 256 numbers. 256 numbers can be stored in the byte data type. Now tell me one thing. What does this mean? How many numbers are there between 0 and 9? How many numbers? Not 9 numbers. There are 10 numbers between 0 and 9. How? Calculate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 numbers. So between 0 and 9, there are 10 numbers. How to calculate this? Always do the last number minus first number and then add a plus 1 to it. 9 minus 0 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. So there are 10 numbers. If someone asks you to calculate how many numbers are between 31 and 53, what you will do? You will do 53 minus 31 and then do a plus 1, right? So let's try. I have already told that byte will contain 256 numbers of 256 different combinations. Here it is. Here are the 256 different numbers. How? Let's check there are 256 or not. 127 is the last number minus the first number. First number is what? Minus 128. So minus 128. And I have already told put a plus 1 at the end. Here 31 to 53. How many numbers are there between 31 to 53? How we will calculate? 53 minus 31 plus 1. I will calculate 0 to 9. 9 minus 0 plus 1. Similarly, 127 minus 128 plus 1. Check 256, 255 plus 1. It comes 256. So there are 256 numbers which ranges from minus 128 to 127. Alright, so this is the first data type, byte data type. Next comes Boolean. Boolean is only one bit. Byte is 8 bits, but Boolean is only one bit because it uses only one space. It uses only one space, true or false, like this 0 or 1, true or false. Alright, next comes short. Short is 2 bytes or 16 bits. It ranges from minus 32768 to 32767. Sometimes the range is mentioned in your question, sometimes it is not. Just go through the ranges. You don't need to remember it, but you need to always remember the size of the data types. Short is 2 bytes. Byte, short, and boolean we have already covered, and the last one is character. Character is also 2 bytes. It stores a single character, we already know that. So character and short, those are 2 bytes. These two are related, the size is same. Another one, int and float, their size is also same. Both of them are 4 bytes. Both of them are 4 bytes. So we have already understood the difference between int and float. Int can only contain the whole numbers, and float contains decimal numbers. Float can also contain whole numbers, but float is generally used for what? Float is generally used for storing decimal numbers. We have used a dot f, dot something, and at the end we have used f. And last comes long and double. Long and double are of 8 bytes. Int and float were of 4 bytes, but long and double are of 8 bytes. Just remember that long is used to store those values which cannot be stored in int. Long is the same as int, it only contains whole numbers. Long does not contain any decimal number. But some values are so large that that cannot be stored on an int data type, so we use long data type. And similarly, float contains what? Decimal values, but there are some values which are so large that float cannot contain those values, so we use double data type. Double data type also stores fractional numbers, and double data type is double the size of float. Long data type is double the size of int. So this chart is very very important. I'm telling you, you have to remember this chart. All right, so those are the primitive data types, and non-primitive data types we will cover on later classes, string, array, and classes. So as of now, study this chart and the studies I have mentioned earlier. And last exercise, before moving on to the next part of the video, try to solve those questions. Try to solve it, and if you cannot, then resume the video and find the answers. And if you have already solved, verify the answers whether true or not. So this is 9, but this is a single 9, means it is a integer, right? It is a whole number, no decimal point is there, so it will be a integer. All right, next comes 8.99f. At last f is present. At last f is present means it is a float. float, float. Next, a, only single quote is present. Single quote means character. If there were double quotes, then it was a string. False, I have told only true or false are contained only by a boolean data type, right? So it will be a boolean. And at last, hello world. Hello world is within double quotes. Double quote means it's a string data type. So those are the answers: int, float, character, boolean, and string. All right. Okay, so these are the homework programs. So you can solve the programs on your BlueJ window or on your online Java compiler, and you can post the answers in the comment section. But make sure that the programs I have provided, actually those are looping programs. Print the odd numbers from 1 to 10, print the even numbers from 20 to 30, fast five prime numbers. These are looping programs. You have not learned about loops as of now. But you know what are the first, uh, what are the odd numbers between 1 and 10, right? So what you will do, you will find out the odd numbers between 1 and 10, just 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And with the help of print statement, you will print those five numbers. How you want to print, that's up to yourself. You can use five different print statements. You can print all the five numbers in a single print statement. That up to you. That I want to see how you are printing. So make sure to post the answers in the comment section. All right. So first program is odd numbers from 1 to 10. Second is even numbers from 20 to 30. Then third is first five prime numbers. Those are integer printing. It's very easy. And last one is name and address in separate lines. Print your name and address in separate lines. And last one is print your school name and address in same line using two print statements. So try to solve those. I'm adding another question, which will be write a program. I'm writing in short, web, write a program to print the sum, comma, difference, comma, multiplication and division of two decimal numbers. Make sure you understand the question carefully. What I have solved in the class, that was between two integer numbers, but here I have mentioned between two decimal numbers. So you have to you have to calculate the sum, difference, multiplication, and division of two decimal numbers. So this question will solve definitely and post in the comment section. All right. So this is all we will cover in today's class. Let me know how did you feel. If you have any doubt or if you have any query, you can write on the comment section. You can join the WhatsApp community, and there you can contact with me, so that if you have any problem or any doubt, you can ask me anytime. I would feel very happy to answer your doubt. And also, please give a feedback. Please let me know how was the lecture, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and also share it with your friends, because I will be covering the whole course free of cost. So and I will go into details. I will cover each and every program. I will cover each and every theory which is required for your Icse examination. So make sure that it reaches to each and everyone. Even if someone don't have financial means to go to a tuition class, they must not think that, oh, okay, I will not take computer because I cannot afford a computer class. No, you can study it from your home. I want to provide something good for each and every one of you. So make sure it reaches to each and every one of your friends. Not just because I will be getting likes and shares. No, it will help someone. So that's the main thing I want. And also, yeah, if my channel gets recognized by several people, I will be of course happy. So do like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, write the solution of the programs in the comment section. I will be waiting for your comments. And please give a feedback. Thank you. Goodbye. Keep studying, and we will meet on the next lecture again.